Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back to do another video for you guys to see what's going to come through the gateway days. And the gateway days are 11, 11, 11, 12, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Essentially, I'm looking to see what is going to come through, but also what might actually leave. Any messages that are pertinent. I'm also keeping in mind that we've got a double retrograde happening with Mercury retrograde and Saturn finishing up its retrograde. And I have to tell you, things are going to get loud, okay? Because it's Saturn retrograde in Pisces. And at this time, the last time Saturn retrograded in Pisces, everything was so loud. The noise level of it was like sensory overload. Some of you may be very sensitive during this period of time to noise, to outside interference, to external stimulus, to random alarms going off, random people shouting. The level of tolerance for noise is going to diminish. So some of you might kind of get a little bit hangry, or, shout at somebody or lose your temper unexpectedly because your nervous system is probably overstimulated by so much noise. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like the dial just goes way up when Saturn is in retrograding in Pisces towards the end. So for the noise level. So you can expect to see that during this period of time. But I am particularly looking to see what is going to come through aside from that during this period. And I did another video similar to this over on my IG, so you can check that out as well. Before I jump in, I want to say a big thank you to everybody who has donated, everybody who's been supportive of all of my work. I have two main channels, The Whale Called Moon and OracleDaphne, plus I have IG. So there's a lot of content. If you want to check out my Whale Called Moon, I appreciate all subscribes over there because it's a new channel, and it's mostly tea readings, and I really feel inspired to do that kind of work. So I have the charms laid out here, and I'm going to pull some tarot and see what we get here for additional messages. But I'm pretty much ready to jump in. If you want to book a reading or gift a reading, all the information is in the description box. It's still $100. I do offer split payments if people want to split it up. And yeah, I'm ready to rock and roll here. Okay. I feel that there's like a cluster. I want to call it a cluster of activity. The light is kind of odd here. Cluster of activity here. And we have two cards. We have this card, which is about going, this card, which is about staying in. Some of you might feel kind of conflicted, like on some days, like you really just want to stay home. And other days you might really feel like this energy of like getting up and going somewhere, or like almost like a cabin fever, restless kind of energy. It feels a little bit restless, wild. I used to call it my wildness, like Sunday evenings where I felt like, okay, everything's clean, everything's done. What am I doing? Maybe a sense of boredom. You'd call it boredom. I don't really ever get bored, but it brings out this wildness in me, this need for more, this need for seeking something, a need for external stimulation, a need to just go, to the movies or to hang out with friends or do something with my time that feels productive or creative or different or engaging. It feels like some of you need to get out of the house if you're spending too much time inside, like it's a restless kind of energy. Some of you may feel, I want to say, like, Some of you may actually feel a little bit over like you've overeaten. I also feel like for some of you with all this energy in Pisces, some of you might have a little bit of an upset stomach, or just like maybe feel like you're not digesting your food as well as you could or should. I would say watch your diet, but also like know that this is like an astrological thing, and this is something that's going to leave once Saturn goes direct. But I also feel I was also getting something else, that the whole point of these gateway dates is to release. So many of you actually like if your stomach's upset, part of it is just like a purging almost. It feels kind of like a purging. Some of you, it's going to help you release excess weight as well. I feel like you're going to potentially lose quite a lot of weight during this period of time. I'm not saying you're going to lose weight overnight, but it's almost like your body is shifting out of whatever it's carrying. It's releasing finally whatever it's carrying with this Saturn retrograde. It's like a final Saturn retrograde for the next in Pisces for the next 30 years. So essentially, this is the time where your body's kind of probably processing a lot. You might be processing a lot emotionally as well. We have this here, which is about bad energies leaving. Bad energies leaving your life, bad energies leaving where you live, or it's just sort of like a clearing kind of energy, which is interesting. I wasn't expecting to see that here. Some of you may be leaving a job or deciding, you're leaving where you're living. For some of you, I don't necessarily feel like it's all moving. I feel like there's a lot of maybe traveling or travel plans during this period of time. We have the 7 of Cups. It's not unusual for people to take time off during this period for Thanksgiving. I feel like there is a lot of maybe holiday stuff coming up, a lot of food. I see a lot of food. We have all these beans here. There's a strong focus on food during this period. I don't normally see so many beans. I feel like there's going to be money that comes through maybe some family unexpectedly. I don't know why I'm seeing of these buttons here, but I'm also seeing it could come from like a friend unexpectedly. To me, this is somebody in your community. This is like has a community energy, and I don't know why I'm picking that up, but it feels very community to me. The pumpkins are community. It's like reminds me of the community garden, somebody in your community that maybe like it's like wanting to help you out with things, or it could be just actually a gift for the holidays as well. For some of you, you might lose a piece of jewelry during this period of time, or for some of you, you might find a piece of jewelry. It feels like it's more of a lost, it's a lost piece of jewelry. I don't necessarily feel that you're going to find it. But that's coming up here. Very interesting, very fascinating. I can't really get a read on like where it is or why it's lost. It's really interesting. Like this period of time feels very Pisces. Very, very Pisces. Very, very like a little bit checked out, a little bit chaotic, a little bit scattered. Like at first I felt like the charms were like really organized and easy to read, and then I pulled some more charms to get clarity, and it all kind of went to shit. So I was like, okay, what's going on here? And what's going on here is this Piscean energy. This Piscean energy is very highly emotional, very, very bogged down by their emotions, cannot take on other people's emotions, is sympathetic to a point, but essentially they're so overwhelmed emotionally, they cannot focus on other people with emotions, and their emotions come first. So essentially you're going to need to process your feelings during this period of time. Feelings for other people, feelings about the world, feelings about yourself, feelings about your friendships, feelings about your family, your partner. It's all about emotions. Some of you, there may be some very positive emotions that you feel during this period. Like for some of you might feel like during the gateway days, like really, really blessed, like feel really abundant and very, very blessed and like inspired, either inspired to make something or bake something. I see a lot of cooking with the beans. You might cook some of the best meals during this period of time. You might go out and be like, I'm going to make the best tiramisu I've ever made, or some kind of lobster rolls that you've never tried. And you're going to go out and you're going to get all this stuff for it, and you're going to bring it back, and you're going to make the best meal. Some of you, if you share meals at this time, let's just say you cook for somebody, they're going to be overwhelmed by like how good it is. Like it's going to be surprisingly, amazingly good. You might also kind of be a little bit adventurous during this period of time, which is again, I normally don't see this for Scorpio season, but I'm seeing this. It feels adventurous. I'm seeing the word, we have the word adventure here, but it's adventurous. It's kind of get up and go, kind of restless energy of wanting to do something different, wanting to do something new, ready to make changes. I feel like some of you are going to be making changes in your life, big changes in your life, and it might be to do with your exercise routines. We have the leopard here. That's exercise. For some of you being like, I'm going to get some like weight equipment for like to put in the garage or to put in the basement and work out every day. For some of you, you're going to join a gym. For some of you, you're going to start to really like think about where you want to put your money. For some of you, it's like really think about, okay, maybe do some micro investing, or think about how you want to save your money, or how you want to split your money up, what you want to spend your money on. I feel like some of you are going to be buying things that are unusual things from different, like ordering things maybe from Etsy, or ordering things online, maybe that have kind of like maybe an ethnic vibe to them. I'm seeing things from China, things from Africa, things from Korea. I'm seeing all kinds of different like ethnic types of things. For some of you, you're going to be really focusing on decorating for the holidays, or decorating for like almost like getting ready for Christmas, or getting ready for like maybe even buying gifts for people during this period of time. I also feel like with the three, this is like a lot of crying, a lot of emotion. For some of you, there's going to be some elements of grief. Hang on one second. There's elements of grief that comes up, and I don't know where it's coming from. For some of you, it has to do with like a long-standing partner, either somebody that you were married to, or someone who you really love. It's really interesting, because if we look at things through the filter or the lens of the Pisces, everything is very romanticized. Everything is about love. It's very lush with roses and flowers and music. And if we look at things through that lens, sometimes we miss the hardcore reality of the situation. Pisces stays in that place of, I really wish I could have done more for my kids. I really wish I could have done this and that. And I really wish I could have been with that other person. And I really, it's all the things that they didn't do, all the things that they couldn't do or wanted to do, or what the dream was. For some of you, you're going to have some kind of like awakening or reality shifting, where you're suddenly either going to see things in a not romanticized way, where you're like, actually, I just care about the food on my table and making sure that I have enough money for my bills. And actually, I don't care about romance, and I don't care about, meeting the perfect person. And others are going to start to be like, I don't have a lot of love in my life. I need to sort of romanticize my life a little bit more. I need to really get in touch with like how I feel about things, and really get in touch with what is important, and really get in touch with maybe, again, like getting some more artwork, or going to more art galleries, or getting involved in, say, maybe like a music program and an art program, or doing something that's very creative that you've never done before. For some of you, it's like starting your own like knitting group, or taking a sewing class, or learning to paint or draw, or do something that you would not have normally done. For some of you, you're going to be making jewelry. I'm seeing jewelry. I'm seeing metal work. I'm seeing all kinds of like craft work, things like that too here. For some of you, okay, things are not going to happen until like the very end, okay, of these retrogrades, until the very, very end, until Saturn goes direct in Pisces, and until basically the very tail end of when they absolutely have to happen. So like things are going to get down to the wire, okay, for some of you, for some things that need to happen. For some of you, you're going to feel really screwed about how to like, okay, pay your bills. But the thing is, Pisces has this ability to kind of manifest out of nothing. And I feel like you're going to be manifesting money out of nothing. I feel like you might feel like you're screwed right up to the very day that something is due, and then something comes through and it's like, oh, okay, I have money for this now, and oh, I can do something over here. And so it's kind of like believing that everything's going to be okay, and believing that the things in your life are going to happen naturally, or there's some beautiful things that are going to be happening in your life in general, and period. Let me see what else. My guide said you're going to be developing a thicker skin for things in your life, but I also feel like for some of you, there's also going to be sort of like this melting effect, because we have the Queen of Swords here, and we have this Ace of Wands here. So for some of you, you might be like one moment like really, really like Queen of Swords energy, harsh, abrasive, fighting with somebody. And the next moment, there's some energy of warmth. Even the sun's kind of shining here on this. So it's like there's this energy of warmth, or this energy of like warming up, and this energy of love that kind of comes through. And it's really beautiful, actually. So it's interesting, because I think that it might surprise you, the romanticized love aspects that might come through during the gateway days, that you might not see coming. So you might find yourself being warmer to other people, or kinder to other people, or showing other people more compassion. Other people might be doing the same thing for you. You might, again, with the noise issue, there's like a car going by. I'm telling you, the noise issue during this period of time, but that's also confirmation of what I was saying. During this period of time, you're going to like either get some noise canceling headphones, get a lot more sleep. Make sure you're getting a lot of sleep, because Pisces needs to sleep. For all of that, like, I don't know, electronic smog, or like noise, for your nervous system, you're going to want to, I'm seeing like work with some crystals that help to reduce electronic smog. I'm also seeing copper bracelets. I'm also seeing making sure you are taking lavender, passion flower, valerian, things that are going to help reset your nervous system, especially in the evening before bed. That's like a major message that wants to come through. But, going back to what I said, we have this romanticism element. A very soft element too. Some of you, this is a piece of clothing that is a child's clothing that I cut up to make something. And so some of you might be getting, again, very creative, into like doing things that are handmade, making things during this period of time. I wanted to say, okay, there are some elements here about contrast with that romanticized element and the harsher element. It is very, on some days you might feel like you have more romantic ideals. You might feel okay, like, there's hope for me in a person. And on other days during this period, you might be like, no, there's no way in hell. It's there's a lot of contrast here. One of the cautions is not to spend so much time on your cell phone, or not to spend so much time in front of a flat screen if you have one. Make sure you're getting outside, you're getting grounded, make sure you're walking, make sure you're exercising and you're taking time to exercise. Make sure that you're eating right, okay? And I'm talking about avoiding a lot of sugary things, avoiding too much chocolate, like step away from the chocolate, okay? Emotional eating. I'm seeing emotional eating during this period as well. I wanted to say, and this is like, I think I was going to mention this, but then the car drove by. There's going to be some profession of love or confession of love. I do feel that there's going to be words of love that are exchanged between you and another person. And whether this is a confession or whether this is just telling someone you love them, I feel like that is going to come through during this period of time. And it's coming through very, very strongly. So whether you're expecting it to come through or not, I definitely feel that it feels very positive to me. It feels very positive. And it might be one of the reasons why there's all this emotion coming out, because you're not expecting it, or you're not, maybe you are expecting it, but it would be like a romantic proposal that maybe you were like, okay, thinking it was going to happen like 6 months ago, and then it just kind of happens out of the blue. Any romantic things that they're going to come out of the blue, it feels like, or catch you at a time where maybe it's some words of confirmation that you really need to hear. That is one of the beautiful things about all this water, this grand trine energy, this water energy for the Scorpio season. It's a lot of positive words of confirmation, positive words of encouragement, and words of love. That's what I see here. So thank you guys so much for being amazing fans and followers. I send everyone big hugs, big kisses, and I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye, guys.